So Trump Organization, you touched on this, but this is pretty spicy. Actually, this is like mega spicy. This is like nuclear. A New York judge ordered the dissolution of businesses owned by Donald Trump. And
he did everything right. He did everything right, and they're indicting him again.
He's been found to have committed fraud in terms of declaring his net worth in loan documents, which is a big fucking crime. That's a serious shit. The judge found that Trump and his company fraudulently misstated the value of their assets, canceled their certificates for business, as well as any entity owned by Trump, Eric, Donald, or Alan Weisberg, or Trump Organization executive Jeffrey McConney. That's pretty serious, dude. The ruling implies that Trump Organization is no longer recognized as a company in New York. A court-appointed individual will take over its assets and distribute them as deemed appropriate. Dude, that's crazy. That's crazy. So what he's been doing essentially is getting tons of loans, which billionaires do. The problem is he puts down his assets and his collateral to guarantee against the loan. He's been saying that Mar-a-Lago, for example, just one example, is worth 1.5 billion, right? I saw it said it's 700 million, but I thought he said it was 1.5.
There were two instances here. I have exactly where the judge breaks down what they found.
Here, highlight it for me.
Here is this one.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, here's the judge's ruling on the matter. Let's read this. From 2011 to 2021, the Palm Beach County assessor appraised the market value of Mar-a-Lago at between 18 million and 27 million. Notwithstanding, the SFC's value did not reflect these lands use restrictions. It says it very clearly, actually. Donald Trump's SFC values Mar-a-Lago between 400 million and 600 million, an overvaluation of 2,300% compared to the assessor's appraisal.
The best part is when he is actually, like, the difference between him going to a bank versus him going to the federal government and the IRS and like showing his properties is the exact opposite. So like he's undervaluing it every single time he's talking to the government and saying this is a depreciating asset. Look, I have land use restrictions and this is like a piece of shit, right? But when he goes to the bank, he's like, this is the greatest fucking place of all time.
In 2020, Donald Trump sued the municipality because they overvalued the property because he wanted to pay less property tax. Listen to this.
Yeah.
Tax representatives acting on behalf of Trump filed a petition this year to state authorized value adjustment board challenging the valuation assigned to Mar-a-Lago and the Trump National Golf Club in Jupiter, according to spokesman. The petition for Jupiter property was subsequently withdrawn, said agency spokesman. A virtual hearing has been scheduled for December 3rd to consider Mar-a-Lago's valuation, which at 2.6 million is unchanged from last year.
No, 26 million.
26 million.
Yeah, it's not 2.6 million.
But here it says also the judge wrote, critically, Moans does not opine at what price he is confident he could find a buyer, although he opines separately without relying on any objective evidence that he believes that as of 2023, the property is worth 1.5 billion.
That's awesome. So, a couple things to note here. I think one of the scariest and most insane things that Trump actually dropped in the deposition that suspiciously is not getting a lot of media coverage is that he said he basically has an unlimited line of credit from Saudi Arabia that he could just sell. Yes, that's what a footnote. That's what the judge says. He said in the deposition. I haven't seen it, but
well, yeah, I definitely trust the judge if he's that.
He basically says I can sell my properties for 10x, 20x, whatever the fuck I want to Saudi Arabia at any given moment, which technically isn't false. He is right about that. Saudi Arabia did give Jared Kushner, Donald Trump's son-in-law, $2 billion in the Sovereign Wealth Fund for Jared Kushner's new venture. And that obviously came with, that didn't come for free. They didn't do that out of the kindness of their hearts or think they didn't do that because they think Jared Kushner is like an incredible fucking investor. They did it because they like having an inside guy. They like having control over.
I mean, it's exactly what they accuse Hunter Biden of doing, frankly.
Yes.
Except it's what Hunter did is even less direct.
Yes. Because
he wasn't even serving as his advisor.
Unlike Jared Kushner, Hunter Biden never had any fucking sway in the Obama administration nor the Biden
Well, the
administration.
Kush was he's an official advisor. He even had security clearance for a while.
Yes, he was. He did the fucking he facilitated the Abraham Accords.
He was Mr. Israel Peace.
Yeah. So yeah, he was put in an incredible position of power with no fucking background.
That's sick. Now that's a bribe.
And he
I got to say it to his credit. I see people getting bribed, and it's always too little money. Like the moron, the Democratic.
Bob Menendez?
Yeah. Like what? I mean, he got
couple gold bars.
He got paid, but like Jared, he got 1.5.
Yeah, he made out like a fucking bandit.
That's a bribe.
$2
billion, 2.5 billion.
No, just I think $2 billion roughly.
$2 billion. That's
$2
a
billion,
bribe.
and Saudi Arabia, MBS recently, because he's doing he's doing his charm offensive again.
Yeah.
Because like enough time has passed since the Jamal Khashoggi shit. So like he's back on U.S. soil talking about like the golf courses and how awesome it is. He gave an English interview to Fox News this past week, where in the interview he basically said, "Yeah, we gave $2 billion to Jared Kushner, and we'll probably give him more," and that he loves the idea of another Trump presidency.
Nice. Well, anyway, according to the documents reporting, he apparently overstated his worth to and assets to banks and insurers by as much as $3.6 billion.
Did you see the Saudi Arabian line in the deposition that they just pulled up? There it is. But in a deposition, Trump seems to imply that the numbers cannot be inflated because he could find a buyer from Saudi Arabia to pay any price he suggests. New York State Supreme Court Judge Arthur Engoron wrote in his ruling.
Despite the disturbing suggestion, that's not how evaluations work. That's just not how you're like, no, trust me.
I could find
I know a guy. That's not how it works.
And I mean, obviously there is the market on top, like Eric Trump, and we have that in the doc here at number 6, was trying to argue it's ridiculous that the judge was saying it's worth 26 million or whatever, because look at how expensive all of these other properties in Florida are.
Exactly.
Well,
dude.
he says 1/30th the size. So what he's saying is their properties worth 30 times whatever.
Yeah.
No, but he's right, and he's wrong. He's right that the properties next to Mar-a-Lago are residential real estate properties that are going for that amount, right? It is to show the market consideration for real estate in that area, but those are residential properties. While they are tiny in comparison to the massive plot of land that Mar-a-Lago sits on, they do not have land use restrictions that specifically detail that you cannot use Mar-a-Lago as a residential real estate. You cannot chop up Mar-a-Lago land to turn it into residential real estate. So you can't do that, which the Trump organization knew, and as you also correctly showed, has used to their advantage year over year in an effort to pay less taxes or actually show Mar-a-Lago as a depreciating asset so that they can cut taxes in general.
Yeah.
We knew about all of this because Donald Trump literally, not the overvaluation of his properties, but we knew about Donald Trump undervaluing his properties and showing them as depreciating assets.
Dude, just in 2020, he was arguing that they overvalued it.
because of the whole Trump tax return shit. Remember when we were talking about how like Trump paid $75,000 in tax, and we were like, "What the fuck is that about?"
Yeah,
that was because of this. Because he was openly stating that his land use restrictions was making Mar-a-Lago a depreciating asset.
Dude, the brazenness, like I feel like if I tried that shit on my taxes, I would get fucked immediately.
Yeah, you got to cut the candle on both ends.
Any accountant I've
light
ever
it.
worked with would be like, "That's fucking insane. I'd be arrested if I signed off on this."
Well, yeah, but
Like, I
then
don't
you
know how
can
he
do the
gets away
Trump
with
thing.
it.
You can do the Trump thing and like go accountant shopping until like the one accountant will say, "Oh yeah, no, we can do that."
yeah.
I guess
We'll find a way.
But I'm trying to see how much of the property is unusable from air. You know what I mean? Like how much of it is just totally
It's like a country club essentially.
Yeah,
right?
it is.
So like there's like it's kind of a hotel in there and stuff, and like
nice spot though. Oh, this is the whole area. This is his plot.
Yeah. Which when you look at it, they're
This
like,
is all unused.
yeah, and you cannot turn that into residential real estate.
Right,
you
you
can't do that.
can't build on it.
You cannot sell or use this land for any commercial
Yes.
purpose. Therefore, it doesn't get
No, for any residential purpose.
Yes,
Right.
it's commercial real estate. The reason why it's only valued at 70 million in comparison to like all the other properties is because those other properties are houses, right? A house has upkeep, especially ones as large as that one in that area. But like Mar-a-Lago and the upkeep required for it is an insane amount. So obviously that's the reason why there's a limitation to how much you can. How expensive you can claim this thing is, and how valuable this is.
Shame he owns this because that shit looks nice. I've never been to what is this, Palm Beach?
Palm Beach. You never
Is that
been.
what it's all like? Just this
Dude,
peninsula?
it's shit. I think.
Really? I've never been there.
It's one of those places where it's like, yeah, I mean, it looks like it's going to be underwater in like
Oh, that's no question about it.
in like 10
There
years.
is that too.
It doesn't
That's probably hurting the property value too.
Bro, look, it looks like it's under sea level. Like this looks like a seawall. Yeah, that's true. I mean, how much is that shit worth? It's not going to exist in 10 years, probably. Enjoy it while you've got it.
It's a
buddy.
narrow strip of land.
Okay. Well, there he is. So Trump is getting absolutely fucked, dude, by New York State.
I
And
did everything right, and they indicted
I don't know what to
me.
say. I mean, the guy committed fraud on a massive scale. What do you want?
The craziest part about this too is that this was all over a civil trial. He was being sued by what's it called? The not district attorney.
Was this a
Attorney
discovery
General.
thing?
Huh?
Was this a discovery thing?
Well, it's not just that. It's the fact that this was supposed to go to trial like next week, and the judge, after looking over the evidence, just thought it was so egregious that they were willing to dissolve his business before even going to trial. Like that's how like on its face obvious it was that he was doing this fraud.
Yeah, there's different types of fraud aside from like obviously hyper inflating the value of your assets, but like he lied about the square footage.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like that's so measurable. Lie
Yeah.
about the square
Doesn't
footage.
get much more measurable than square footage.
That's literally, yeah.
Literally a measurement.
How do you lie about that?
I mean, yeah.
I guess he lies about his height, so that's even more measurable.
Yeah. It's just you can get away with it, right? I mean,
Yeah, so the interesting part of this is to see which banks and loaning institutions are going to sue him for fraud. That's going to be real fun to follow. And
I mean, it entirely depends on whether or not he becomes president. Because if he becomes president, he's going to give them favorable deregulation, so they will not do that, and they love that.
True.
So we'll see. We'll see which way this goes. Like a lot of this. Okay, I have two conflicting thoughts on this. On the one hand, when Trump says like what I've done is not out of the ordinary, he's not wrong. Okay, real estate. And the way that the real estate industry works is this is all not necessarily legally permissible, but things that a lot of people do all the time and completely overlook.
lie about their assets?
Yeah,
by 1,000%?
Yeah, depreciating the value of your depreciating, like showing your assets as depreciating assets in an effort to get to significantly cut your tax burden while simultaneously showing it as much as you can.
That is common, but like lying to loan institutions about the value of your assets, that seems crazy.
I think not to the degree that Trump did it, but and not with like lying about your square footage and whatnot. But yeah, I think people do it.
People
Yeah.
probably
people definitely.
There's a
do
difference between
fudge it a little bit,
right? Fudging,
and
which is probably
1,300%.
very common, and what
two-
he did.
Yeah, not 2,300.
Yeah.
This is
like
brazen.
that's insane.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's brazen. All right, well, let's move on. We don't have a lot of. We have about 30 minutes, so let's keep it moving. Right? You got something else you wanted to?